All right. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp. Coming back at you again, wanted to sit down. And real quick, this ain't gonna be, I ain't gonna try to make this too long and drawn out, but came across this video and this is basically, the serpent who was spiritually Esau Edom beguiling Eve, or as we call them, the NW or whatever. And this video, I know it's AI, it's created, but someone had to type this prompt in. You see, and this video gives a perfect representation of that beguilement. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna watch the video and get into some scriptures.
Listen, ladies. We will give you housing, food stamps, white-collar careers, and secretary jobs so you will never need a man again in your home.
You can leave, I have a career, and going back to school, me and my kids will be okay.
You are doing the right thing by leaving your man, and the government is your husband now, and you will never have to worry about how your kids will eat.
Listen, ladies. We want you to make you rich and independent with stable jobs. All you have to do is make sure there is no man in your house.
I need a man. I just came back and they told me I'll have housing, food for the kids, but Floyd can't live with me anymore.
Did you hear that as long as there is no man in the house or on the lease, we can get housing and benefits?
We want you to make you rich and independent with stable jobs. All you have to do is make sure there is no man in your house. Listen, ladies, we will give you housing, food.
Yeah, see, so what Esau promised, our women, and that's exactly what our women, that's what they want. They're materialistic. Majority of people who do the spending is the women. Going out shopping, buying a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. That's really of a woman's thing. Men, we necessarily only buy things that we need. It's gonna help better. Something, men do a lot more investment than women, just think about some of the things that men actually buy, as far as like tools, housing, me personally, if I buy something, I'm either buying it because I need it as far as like, to work on my car or to, if I'm cooking something, it makes it a little, slightly easier. So men more so buy things for investments, things that they might need later on. Women buy things that's more so pleasurable right then and there. Clothes, shoes, hair, skin, eye products, I'm pretty sure if you go, into a woman's bathroom, man, you'll see a whole bunch of fucking products that they throw in their hair, they throw on their face, they throw on their skin, just to go out to a party for that day. You see? Where, the only thing I got fucking is what, some oil, some lotion, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, conditioner, and that's pretty much about it. I don't have all these like fucking oil, skin products and everything like that. But basically, to get back to the point, is that Esau has painted this picture, has painted this narrative of where the woman doesn't need a man, and really what he was basically doing is he was taking away her hedge of protection. You see, now you have this rhetoric of, especially in our community, especially in the Israelite, especially the Israelite woman, where she thinks she doesn't even need a man. Where you go and ask, she's like, "Do you need a man? And she'll tell you, "No, I don't need a man. I don't need a man for none of this, and I can do this all by myself." But then guess what? What's going to happen when those? Because you heard, one of those women has children, which again, I already know it's AI. Somebody created the prompt, but that AI video is how our women live their lives. You see, they go out, they go have 5, 6, 7 children, by a whole bunch of different men. And then they try to go get a career for themselves to raise those children. But guess what? Those children that you're raising are going to grow up in the same mindset. A man who doesn't want to really truly be a man. He doesn't want to take responsibilities. He's going to leave. He's going to be very emotional, So guess what? He's going to find it. He's going to be, he's either going to end up in jail or in prison. Or let's say you do have that select very few that actually is raised by a woman that actually goes and be a somewhat decent individual. He's going to be a beta. He's not going to learn. He's not going to know how to stick up for himself. You see? Or what's going to happen is he's going to learn how to be a man another way. Because what I'm trying to say, contrary on what people believe is a woman can't raise a man. She thinks she might be able to. You know, she thinking, oh, well, I give him food, I take care of him, I do this, I do that, I tell him to go off to college, I tell him to respect women and all that. Yeah, but that's not raising a man. So guess what he's going to do? When he eventually grows up and he goes out here in the world and he finds that being a man isn't just what my mother told me, it's a lot more other things. He's going to find it from other people. He might find it from his boss at his job, you know, or he's going to crave that that masculinity from somewhere. You see? Somewhere he's going to get that masculinity. He's going to truly know what's to be a man in, because guess what? Women can't raise men, you know? So, let me go ahead and get this. It's not what I wanted. Where is it at? Yeah, matter of fact, it was right here. This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 13. It says, and the Lord said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. See, so back then, like when what? The serpent, who was Esau Edom, beguiled, which means tricked. You see? And guess what? She's falling for the same narrative. She's falling for the same rhetoric. All right? She's being beguiled again. So guess what? When hell comes upon this place, because what? Jacob's trouble is going to come. Majority of you women are going to feel the pressure. You see? Because why? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has told you that you don't need a man. You can do it all by yourself. You see? And he's taken away your hedge of protection. So here it is. You know, you're going to be looking for someone to protect you and your children, protect you, and you're not going to have find one, because why? You shoot all the men that you had away. You see? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of every woman is the man, and the head of head of Mashiach is Yahweh. See, so it's a rank and order. You see, you have Yahweh the Father, then you have who? The Son, who is Yahweh Shah, and then you have the man, and then you have the women, and then you have the children up under the woman. And it's all a ranking order. And guess what? The Lord said, well, I am not the author of confusion. So this is the correct way things are supposed to be done decently and in order. You see? Yahweh Shah follows Yahweh. We follow Yahweh Shah. And then the woman's supposed to follow after us. And that's how everything is aligned in order. But here you go. You got Esau through what? The scripture says, well, through envy of the devil came death into the world. So what? You have him coming to stir things up, coming to break up the I forgot exactly what's the word. It says the dynamic household. I forgot exactly what the word what the world calls it, but the dynamic family. I think it's what it's called. But you got Esau coming to break that up. You see, that's why 75% of women, especially the black woman, is unmarried. You know, because why? You have this mentality of, oh, I can do it by myself. I don't need a man. Which really, to be honest, you do need a man. Scripture says what? The Lord created, matter of fact, here it is, verse 8. It says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. See? So you were created for our sake, man. You were created to be a helpmeet to what? To help your fellow man. You see? Because the Lord said, what? We seen that the man was alone, and that thing ought not be. So he created women. All right? Verse 10, it says, for this cause ought the woman to have power over her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. You see? Verse 12, it says, for as the woman is of the man, even so the man also by the woman. And all things of Yahweh. See, so we were created to be in pairs. All right. We were created to be with one another. All right. I shouldn't have said in pairs, but you know, because a man can have more than one woman. But anyway, that's a topic for a different day. But man, what? The woman was created to be with a man, and a man was created to be with a woman. All right? But here you got Esau painting a narrative and saying that you don't need a man. He's painted to saying you can do it all by yourself. And now, some of our people are starting to realize that, hey, listen, this I can do it all by myself. I can be bad. I can do. And then you got bug outs and sellouts of our people who makes movies about it. The nigga Tyler Perry comes to mind when I think of it. You know, always catering to the NW and the struggles that she goes through. You see. But here you is, what Esau has basically thrown a wrench in there, because what he understands that a man is more powerful when he has somebody in his corner. You know, that's why it's a rare commodity actually finding a woman who's actually, you know, for you. That's a rare thing, you know. And to show you even more rare, doesn't the Lord say what? Hold on. They say what? Bob, could y'all bear with me for a minute? I'm trying to figure out what's the wording on it. There it is. This is Sirach chapter 26, verse 14. It says, a silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord. You see? So just you even having a woman that's quiet, that doesn't talk a lot, and that's loving to you, actually truly loves you, that's a gift, you know? That's a very rare, extremely in the type of society we live in now, it's a very rare gift, man. You see? But that's a gift that the Lord has given that man. You see? So finding a woman who doesn't, you know, babble and talk back and do all this extra, you know, nonsense, you know, you'll actually realize that, hey, man, listen, I see why Esau had thrown a wrench into there, because you get so much more stuff done, and your mind is more clear, and it kind of it makes hell, it lifts up hell. What I'm trying to say, I'm trying to put what I'm trying to think in words. It makes hell that much more durable. You see, things don't be that bad when you actually have a woman that's in your corner helping you out. You see. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, all women has their flaws. So when some lack in, others where they might be even more, you know, demonic in. But listen, you know, Pops used to always say, he said, listen, if you can find a halfway decent woman, that'd be good. You know, it's better than getting fucking Keisha out here who fucking throw her ass in the club and just talk to you like whatever. You see? And then, like I said, Esau has paid some of our people to make movies, make videos, and make music about it to make them act even more demonic. You got women like Lotto, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, you know? And then you got our women who idolize these women and try to be like them. So just like Eve got beguiled back then, they're still getting beguiled now, man. So when Jacob's trouble hit, then guess what? These women are going to be completely destroyed, man. A lot of the two-thirds consist of women. And these are going to be the rejected, the ones the men of the Lord didn't want. Because they loud ass mouth. And you got certain brothers who don't even deal with no Israelite woman. They don't even deal with Israelite women. Just because of their attitude. You know, just because of their mannerisms. You see? But that's all I had on this video. Lord, I hope these videos edifying for you brothers out there. Until next time, shalom.